Special guest tonight. I am super excited that he is back in Illinois so he can share some of his poetry with us. He is someone I definitely look up to. He has won many slam competitions all over, including my first slam in Chicago, which is a big, huge deal. I'll let him talk about that. You can brag about yourself, right? Because I didn't memorize your list of accomplishments, but this gentleman, you are all very lucky to be able to listen to him perform some poetry tonight. So please give it up for Mr. Garrett Sherwood.
Give another hand for Amelia. She doesn't like to admit it, but she is really good at hosting. And even though her blood sugar is low or whatever is happening tonight, I thought she did a really good job. So make sure she knows how much she's appreciated. Also, she's also she's very humble about who she is as a poet, which is probably a good thing. But in the last year since I was here a year ago, I did have the opportunity to go to the West Coast and do a lot of poetry slams there. And right now, I don't know if you know this, but the National Poetry Slam competition is happening in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's 72 poetry teams from all across the country, and each team there's 5 people. So there's 350 of the country's best poets in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I can tell you pretty confidently that one of the best writers and poets in the country is Amelia. She's really good. You guys have a treasure here, so make sure she's appreciated. So I'm just going to do a few poems for you. Yeah. And then I have a little book. I'll tell you about that, and I'll tell you some other things. And I'll just start with this one. If I didn't have holes in all my pockets, we could dance together. You know, like the way they do in the movies, like there were hummingbirds in our hearts and lightning bugs in our eyes, like we knew something secret from the way our hips would keep gliding back and forth to find each other. We could get a big, stupid smile on her face every time we saw one of those things, that memory love stroke just for us. It wouldn't have to be something so big, so bawdy, but precious still, for the piece of our love story would open music box in our brains. It could be something like haystacks, or 6-string banjos, or apples cut sideways so you can see the star, who knows. We could make believe that every night was the night before the radio was invented, and that the jazz spinning off the record player will be ours and only ours, but only for 12 more hours, and that's all the excuse we would need to let the walls hear our bones and the ringing of our bodies counting down to tomorrow. I could find out there really is a difference between loving somebody and dreaming about loving somebody. Because one of those definitely feels more real than the other, but it might not be the one that you'd expect. In my dreams, there is no amount of broken bits of spine that could keep me from remembering everything about the way she looked that night when she began to sit just a little bit closer to me. We can make peace offerings every single day, not for any tongue-lashed backbites, but for every bit of life that we let stutter wingless in our hands before we finally figured out what Etta James had been singing about all that time. I mean, love, at last, the big love. I could make sketches of us on brightly colored construction paper, leave you love letters in the steamed-up bathroom mirror after every shower. We can make papier-mâché piñatas from the wanted section of Sunday morning's newspaper. We can make pilgrimages to the spots where we forestall each other's glances, etch our initials into every bedpost and oak tree we ever met. And I can make it easier. Easier like the way the sunrise goes from red slices to big, burning waltz along the skyline, all in the moment just before you close your eyes. So too, we could jump from young wander lovers with fingers in each other's hair to gray whispers of sweet nothings into one another's hearing aid-filled ears, all in the moment just before we close our eyes.